Do you hear this? What? Damn! What are you doing? Not the sparkle attack again. Hell! Are you serious? Is this how intros are supposed to start now? No. Oh God. Please call Disney. My sidekick is malfunctioning. What? I'm your gift today. What's wrong with her? It's me, Juju on the beat. Well, no. But actually it's my karaoke name. I'm still completely clueless what direction this YouTube channel should go in. So as always, we are just trying something new today. This time a how-to video. Yep, I'm gonna walk you through how I made this animation for this reel. Hi, I'm Ju and this is my art. This work is called Blends in Quarantine. I drew it back in 2020 during lockdown, and since I mostly paint digitally now, I wanted to give some of my older analog work a new kind of life, so I decided to animate it. The objects you see here are blends and little decorations that I actually had in my apartment at the time. In a way, they were like my companions sharing my quarantine time with me. The bird, however, was something I imagined. Like a magical detail I added to bring more color and a touch of fantasy into the piece. And the golden patterns over here. Did you see this? At the end of the video, you are gonna be able to make an animation like this. For all the geeky animation lovers out there. Oh, quick side note. I'm actually studying media design. I'm like in the 6th semester now. And I want to work in the field of motion design or animation someday. So, think of this channel as my little playground while I'm still figuring things out.
Playground? More like trial and error land.
Oh.
But hey, practice makes slightly less embarrassing.
Full disclaimer though, I'm not a good teacher at all. But somehow I still managed to conjure up this video. Oh, I got something in my eye. Ooh. Oh, hell no. What's happening? Ah! I don't get it. Okay. And yes, it was kind of a challenge. So let's dive in, I guess. Oh, hell no.
Grab your popcorn, people.
You again?
She's about to pretend she knows what she's doing.
We will see, okay? Alright, so step 1, open the software. Easy, right? You're already halfway through to be an animator. Just kidding. If it only were that simple. Huh. So what we do first, we check our video of choice and we import it into Premiere Pro. Then we go to the effects window and then we choose the color correct effect. And we put it on every video. So I choose the brightness and the contrast and also the color balance. And then I go to the FX setting window and then I just play around with the color values until I see something I like. Then I go back to the brightness and contrast and color balance values. I copy it and then I add it to the other videos. Then I went back to the color correction folder and I chose the effect ASC CDL to bring in some more saturation because I thought it's not colorful enough, so we need some more saturation, yeah. Okay, this is how it looks like now. Next to do is now you have to decide where in the video you want the object starting to move. So you take the razor tool or the cutting tool and do the cut wherever you like to. Then you switch to full screen, take a screenshot of the exact position where you set the cut. And this is now the part where we switch to Photoshop. First, you have to crop off the black parts of the screenshot that we don't need at all. Then we name the layer to make sure that we have a clean workspace and don't end up in the chaos. After this, we go and copy and paste many layers. For every object that you want to animate, you need a different layer. Even if you want to animate the wings and the head and the tail of the bird differently, you need a different layer for every part of the body and every object. Name all the layers and then click on the first layer that you want to edit first. Take the masking tool and here you have to work pretty precisely to include everything which is important for the bottle and exclude everything from the background. Pro tip: Save your file often. Really often, like every 5 seconds if you have to. If you love yourself. When you're done with the section, then choose the layer mask. Next, you have to hide all the layers and then select the layer of the paper. Then select the copy stamp tool, and then now that's the part where we want to kind of erase the object that we masked before, but only on the paper layer, because we still have the layer of the vase on a different layer. So we just remove the vase from the paper layer so it looks like it's a clean paper. So this is exactly what we do with all the other objects. First we go to the layer, then we mask the object on a different layer, and afterwards we kind of erase the object on the paper layer. But it's not that easy with every object. As you can see here, the vase, it's missing some parts on the left bottom, because of course it's analog art, it's painted on a paper in real life and not digital, so it's missing a part of the vase. So in this case, we have to select the copy stamp again, and then we have to add the missing part so it looks like the vase is totally complete. Here I copy and paste the bird layer different times to add a layer for the different body parts like the head, the wings, the feathers. Added a folder, selected all the layers of the bird, place it into the folder to keep the workspace tidy and cute. Hide all the layers again, just not the one that you want to work on. Mask every layer again and then go back to the paper layer and erase the parts of the bird. On the tail I had to erase the feathers, and also what was important, I had to extend the tail on the upper side to make sure when it's moving later on that it's still sticking to the body. Otherwise, when you keep the erased part of the body, like the triangle part here, and then it moves, it looks like it's not sticking to the body anymore. So it was important to make like an extension of the tail. Yeah. Now every body part is on a different layer, and now we can erase the bird on the paper layer. And here I want to show you a different option. What you can do when there are missing parts of an object, instead of using the copy stamp, you can mark the area, and then afterwards you can use the AI tool to add like the missing part. You just have to write down what you want on the missing spot. So I just wrote down extend the leaf, and then it will generate some different options for you. Then you just have to decide which of the options look like the best for you. If there's like nothing which looks good, you can just repeat the process. The area is still marked, so you just have to click the button generate, and then it will give you some more options. Now you have to select the layer of the generated part and the original leaf and put it together in one layer. Then just go back to the masking tool, select the whole area, and then just paint over the background parts which the AI just generated, but as you know, we just don't want some background parts on the layer of the leaf, so we just have to remove it, and then we're good. As you can see, I did this process with a few of the leaves, so now it was just time to edit the pot, because we want that the leaves are moving, right? In the final animation. So it was important on the spaces where the leaves are in front of the pot to extend the pot there as well, and also behind the little decorations which are like in front of the pot, so it's not missing any parts of the pot. So I did the same, I just generated it with the AI tool, and then yeah, it was final. Sometimes it's not working too easily, so you have to go back and forth until you get something that you like. But here in this case, at the back side of the flower pot, it was not possible to generate it, so I just decided to take the copy stand and do it manually by myself. Now we are done with every object, so it was just about time to prepare the paper, because I decided that I want some movement in the paper as well. That's going like to the right and left side, like slightly. So the paper has its own layer now, and also the background has its own layer. So now it was important to remove the paper from the background. So for this part, I had to use the AI tool again of Photoshop to fill in the tiles behind the painting. And well, instead of generating just the tiles, it generated like different cleaning tools and the towel I show you. Well, honestly, who's gonna see that? Nobody, because the painting will gonna be in front of the tiles or the cleaning supply, and we're gonna swing gently from the right to the left side. So I just ended up with this weird creation, I don't know. But it doesn't matter. No one will know. Just tell nobody. Then I just had to recreate the hook, and I used the AI generating tool again and just did the same steps as before with the objects. Now we change the program again, and now we use After Effects. Yay! So first we go and open a new composition, rename the composition. Then for the size, we go in full HD, so it's 1080 pixels in the width and 1920 pixels in the height. The frame rate is like 25 frames per second, that's fine. Then we change this to full resolution. And for the duration, I chose 40 seconds because at this point I didn't know how long the animation will be. I just will know after the voiceover that I will add later on, yeah. Next you have to do is just to import the Photoshop file. Here it's important that you import all the layers together with the file. So you have to choose like composition and then editable layers. Then click on the file, drag it into the composition. Since the Photoshop file is made out of a screenshot, it's not full HD anymore. So you have to resize the image so that it's fitting in the frame of the composition. So yeah, we'll lose some of the original quality, but that's fine because we still use it as a reel. So when we upload on Instagram, it will lose the quality anyways. So it's fine, we can work with that. So what we got now is our main composition. Here I called it Plants in Quarantine. And inside this main composition, I tracked the sub-composition, which is basically our Photoshop file, which we prepared before with all the objects. And when we double click on this sub-composition, it opens in a new window over here. And then we can edit the sub-composition. And the same will be happening for the sub-composition of the bird or the plant, because as you remember, we have different layers inside the flower pot and the bird objects, because we want to animate it differently. Okay, now it's really time to animate the different objects. First, I searched for flash or lightning, and then I went down to the transitions, and there it's called white lightning or white flash. You can find it like this. Then drag it to the different objects, and afterwards open the FX setting for every object and then just play around with the keyframes so that not every object has like the little flash at the same time. So the flower pot comes in first or the bird and then the other one, they will follow it, you know, to make it a bit more creative and playful. Oh, and by the way, if you're still here watching me struggle my way through this animation tutorial, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Go on. Tell them.
Yes, subscribe! Give her XP so maybe she finally learns how to animate properly. Someone has to help her, right?
Okay, now leave. Next, you have to click on the layer of the paper, then you have to select the anchor point tool, and then we will change the anchor point close to the hook, because when we want to move it, we want that the center of the rotation is up there, so it looks like it's swinging from the left to the right side. Then we open the effects setting of the paper, click on the stopwatch to set the first keyframe for the rotation, then go a bit further on the timeline and then set the next keyframe. On the timeline, you still have to be on the second keyframe, and then over here you can start with the rotation. Then go a bit further again and then set another keyframe. And changing the rotation of this keyframe, now you have to type in a negative value so the paper is swinging into the opposite direction. Now you just have to check if the swinging looks like naturally enough, if it's like slow enough, otherwise you have to change it, and then just copy and paste keyframes for like the whole timeline of this object. After you're done with the copy and paste, you have to select all the keyframes, and then we go to the graph editor to bring in more like smooth waves. Click on Easy Ease so it looks more naturally and smooth. Close the graph editor and go back to the rotation, copy it and then paste it onto the layer of the golden frame, because I wanted to move the golden frame exact the same way together with the paper. Yeah, this looks a bit off because I forgot to change the anchor point of the frame as well. We have to take the anchor point and pull it up to the hook, the same that we did with the paper, so the golden frame is rotating the exact same way like the paper. Alrighty, now let's bring in some movement for the other objects. First, I chose the little golden pot on the front. I wanted to make it a bit bouncy, so I set like 2 keyframes. One was the original size, the other one was a bit bigger. Yeah, this is good. Then I just copy and paste it for the whole timeline. Open the graph editor again and then choose Easy Ease again, so it looks like it's bouncing. And on the right side, the bottle with the plant inside, I wanted it to rock back and forth. So first I took the anchor point, I pulled it to the bottom of the bottle, and then I played with the rotation. So I set 2 keyframes again, and then I just copy and paste the keyframes for the whole timeline again. So it's the same process. Awesome! This is how it looks like now. Off to the other bottle, vase, whatever you want to call it. Here I decided I want to change the color. So I took the magma effect from the background folder effects, and I changed the opacity of this effect so you still can see the texture of the bottle. So I set keyframes again, but only for the opacity of the effect, not for the whole bottle, otherwise it will vanish. So when you change the one keyframe to 0% of the effect and then the other one 100%, it will change the color from the orange to the blue, and this is what I wanted. And then, like before, just copy and paste the keyframes for the whole timeline. Then I selected all the keyframes, I copy it, and then I paste it to the other bottle because I want to have the same effect on this bottle as well. I really like how the bottle changed color alternately. Next to do is to double click on the subcomposition of the flower pot. Here we will animate the leaves separately with the pin tool. First select the layer of the leaf that you want to animate, then go up, select the pin tool, and then just put one pin on the stem and one on the leaf. After this, just grab the pinpoint on the leaf and then go at the beginning of the timeline, hold Command, and then just go slowly up and down. With this tool and movement, you will automatically set some keyframes instead of doing it manually. It's much more faster, and then you can just copy and paste the keyframes again until the end of the timeline. I just did the same thing with all leaves until I was satisfied with the whole look. After this, I did the same with the subcomposition of the bird. I double-clicked on the subcomposition and then I edited the whole bird, all of the body parts with the pin tool. And if all else fails, just blame the software. Works 100% of the time. Hallo, warum geht denn der Sch nicht? That's basically my entire workflow. Okay, here I'm back at the main composition, cause the screenshot is a static image and not a video. I added like a 3D camera and a null object to simulate like a camera movement. So I set some keyframes on the camera layer to simulate like the camera pan, which is going like from the left side to the right side. Then I went back to the subcomposition of the whole Photoshop file to animate the bird. I mean, it's moving already, but I wanted to let it fly around in the whole like frame, you know, to go like to the right side. So leave the frame and then come back in like a close-up with the head, and then go to the left side, leave the frame again, come back in, and then just circle around the whole decoration situation. Yeah. Now back to the main composition, and the last thing that I wanted to do now was that the camera is following the bird when it's like going in the circle. So first you have to go to the timeline, then find the spot where you want the camera movement to start, then set the keyframes in position and the scaling for like the whole subcomposition of the Photoshop file. Here we don't change the values of the keyframes because this is our starting position and we don't want to change it. Then we go a bit further on the timeline, and then we set the next keyframes, and those keyframes we will change. We will change the scaling and also the position so that it follows the head of the bird. And yeah, this is just what we do for the whole time when the bird is moving. We go forward on the timeline, set the new keyframes, and then do the new scaling and the position change. So yeah, that it will follow like in the whole time when the bird is moving. Okay, you guys, we are done with After Effects, so we can go back to Premiere Pro. First, we have to import the After Effects file now. We just want to import our main composition, the blends and quarantine composition, yeah. Drag it into our sequence and then place it where we set the cut before. Now you can see our video sequence runs smoothly into our animated sequence. Nice, I like it. And then I just added some text and the voiceover in Premiere Pro, and this is how I got to the final result of this animated reel. Bruh. Oh no, this is not gonna work. And yeah, that's it. We somehow survived this little adventure together.
Barely.
Or not together.
But hey, at least I learned something, probably.
But you know what? With every video like this is just me leveling it up a little bit, a tiny bit. If you enjoyed this, just let me know. And if you don't, also let me know, okay? Because feedback is key. And it's for free. And I'm just a broke student, okay? Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay geeky. And I will see you in my next random experiment of a video, I guess.
Unless she breaks the software again.
Her too. Why? Why, for God's sake, do you always have to crash my videos? Like, why? I really can't believe this.
Whee!